So do we want to risk cutting away 2 pole arms so that we can upgrade these Mourngulls into Night Terrors? Do we think that there will be a heavy committed rush from Xiphos? The map is fairly long, but there are places where he could rush us. I think I am happy with this. Let's give him the ready. And see if we're able to beat Xiphos. My best faction against his best faction. Oh dear. Zablaski talking about necrofex would be legal. Yeah, the thing about necrofex is that it does eventually run out of ammo, which means you have to take a gunnery white with it, which is a whole lot of gold. And if your opponent goes for some sort of committed rush, having a necrofex and a gunnery white is a little bit too expensive. In this case, I'm going with 3 deck gunners for my main anti-archer. And a whole bunch of scurvy dogs. There is a chance that we will run out of ammo too, so we'll have to be very careful against Xiphos here. Hello, Optimus Pine. Yeah, we have an ODM civil war here at the beginning round of this Everchosen Qualifier. And it looks like Xiphos is ready. Oh boy, this is stressful. There's a handful of rushes that he could throw at us. But we've been able to... We have a pretty good win rate for Xiphos' Wood Elves. We just have to really make sure that we don't die to some sort of crazy rush. We do have this little house over here to protect us. At least I think we do. We may very well spawn on this side. Thank you for the luck, Mole Spaghetti. We're going to have to play our hearts out to try to beat Xiphos here. A very, very good player. Okay. Zablaski saying you don't really need a gunnery white with 1 or 2 necrofexes. 2 necrofexes, man. That is intense. I don't even know if you're allowed to bring 2. Yeah, the thing about necrofexes though, I feel, even if they're shooting at Way Watchers, they don't kill a whole ton. Looking at Xiphos' army, and it's looking pretty big actually. We may very well have some sort of rush on our hands from Xiphos. Now, Altdorf Outskirts. Not my favorite map versus Wood Elves. And that's because you can see here, the white line, you can deploy troops behind, like so. Which is not very good for us, because it means Xiphos may very well deploy right here, right behind us. So just in case he does, we're going to turn our guns over here like so, to make sure that doesn't happen. And we're also going to spread out our dogs to spot anything that does spawn directly behind us. Let's see how thick of a safety zone we have. Pretty large one. Now, I don't know if Xiphos would be so aggressive as to give us a build where he spawns directly behind us. But we can't be sure. We can't be sure. These duck gunners, if needed, they can turn about face if needed. But the handguns are a little bit more annoying to turn around. We're going to keep them a little bit closer. We'll move them up a tiny bit to defend the deck gunners in case Zyphos deploys right up in front of us. And we have our zombies over here to screen from anything that comes from the jungle. And just like that, we are about ready. We'll give Zyphos a good luck, have fun. And see if we're able to beat him. Huron, Papa of Turin. Hey, I've seen you in Turin's chat before. We have a, I wouldn't really call this that narrow for the handguns, but we want to keep them roughly in a line. And their job is to ward off any archers that try to come close to our deck gunners, who are our main damage. Okay. Zyphos saying feels bad, man. I'm not entirely sure why, but okay. Okay. He's giving us the good luck, have fun. Oh boy. Let's see if we're able to beat him. I swear, if you want some crazy Vanguard. Did you do it, Zyphos? Did you Vanguard? He didn't Vanguard me. The respect. He does have... oh, he went for a Mask Glade Guard build. Cool, cool. So Mask Glade Guard build is a little bit... it's not the best against this build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. It's going to shoot at our deck gunners with an arrow of Kurnos. But hey, that's fine. We can just pop down a heal on top of them. Glade Lord getting a little bit too close. Gonna take some heavy fire from our guns. We're going to move up our handguns like so. And our hounds are also going to be putting in some work. Okay. Zyphos dodging like an absolute madman. But our pistol summons here, giving him a lot of pain. Let's see how well these scurvy dogs do. We're just going to be juking with them. Making it so that his shots don't cause us too many problems. We have a pendulum coming in. And some dryads coming in too. Let's get those scurvy dogs on top of Zyphos. And pull them back. That looked like those were some wild riders. Pulling back our handguns now. And these dogs can move in through the gap. Meanwhile, Noctilus. Let's get a zombie summon over there. And move up these guys. We want to deal with that cavalry coming our way. There we go. And we're going to keep running away. Zyphos' cavalry taking some heat. And our scurvy dogs need to keep on moving. Looks like we've shut down his archers. And those wild riders are also taking a lot of damage. We have a huge group of dryads over there, though, that we want to kill. Let's get some zombies in the way. And move these dogs back. And these ones too. Okay, now let's turn our guns and heal up those dogs, because now we have some dryads coming in hot. We also have some wild riders that we need to take care of. And our right flank is secure. Those wild riders are taking a whole ton of damage. Noctilus moving in to fight the Eternal Guard now. Those wild riders are backing up. We now want to shoot at the Eternal Guard, while our dogs give those Eternal Riders a walk around the park. There we go, Eternal Guard are going down. But we have a net on our dogs. They need to run away as soon as possible. But hey, we took out the Eternal Guard. We have some archers here on the side that need to be shut down. Let's pull back our Mourngulls and send Noctilus on those guys. Our zombies killing the Glade Guard. Our dogs killing those archers. That Dryad is being a little bit of a pain, but we still have one unit of dogs left. And where there's one unit of dogs, there's a way. We have a nice group of Dryads there that we can hit with our Wraith Storm. And we have Eternal Guards over here that we want to deal with. Wraith Storm hitting those Dryads very hard. And now we have a pendulum coming down on our deck gunners. Luckily, only 4 of them died from that pendulum. Which I do say myself is pretty good. Noctilus doing a lot of damage to that Branch Wraith. And now we have Wild Riders coming in. We want to shoot them up with our deck gunners. We have some Eternal Guard coming in through that way. Let's send in our Scurvy Dogs onto the Wild Riders, getting a rear charge immediately. We're going to expect those guys to rout, and we're going to summon some Drowned Dead over there to start shooting those Eternal Guard. Those Wild Riders do indeed rout, basically instantly, and now we're shooting the Eternal Guard in the back. And there we go, that's the Dryad gone. We have some Deepwood Scouts over there that need to be dealt with by our Scurvy Dogs. Pistol summons have routed those Eternal Guard. Our handguns can shoot while in melee combat, and our dogs are going to move up to deal with those archers. Let's deal with those Eternal Guards first, and our dogs can go ahead and fight the Glade Lord. Noctilus will heal up the dogs, and oh my gosh, we did it, people. We did it. Yes. Oh my gosh, we did it. Oh my goodness. Jeez, what a match. What a match that was. We're going to be saving that game for sure using our nice little script to save games. Wow. Yeah, our front line was breaking, but we did get a little bit of trickle in from the infantry, which almost broke us, but our handguns really pulled through and killed a bunch of those Dryads. This Glade Guard build is pretty good against what I have going, but luckily our 4 dogs were able to really rout them. Shade Wraith give a leadership debuff, which is why I like taking them. Oh my gosh. As I was saying, can't wait for the Vampire Coast nerf. It's coming soon, it's coming soon. Oh my gosh, and Langui? Oh my gosh. Okay. Or fave. Oops. Yep. It's our favorite map. Oi. Alright, so next game up against Zyphos on Langui. I've taken out his Wood Elves, which means we have a pretty good chance making it much farther in the tournament. Apparently Zyphos really likes Langui when he plays Wood Elves. Of course you do, man, with the middle forest and so much cover for your elves. Oh my gosh. Oh man, GG guys. Oh, what a game. What a game. Man, playing against Zyphos is always it's a treat, really, playing against Zyphos. He really does push me to the limit. And I do feel like Vampire Coast does have a pretty favorable matchup against Wood Elves. But still. Random Nick saying, wasn't this kind of an easy win? Oh my gosh, it was so stressful, man. The thing about Vampire Coast is that if your front line collapses, if your front line collapses, you can really just lose everything extremely quickly. Or if in the late game you don't have anything to deal with the archers, it can turn out really nasty. So basically until the last moments of that game, we were pretty stressed out because had my zombies crumbled at the same time instead of at a staggered rate, it would have been pretty bad. He could have collapsed on my handguns, they wouldn't have been able to fire due to the large amounts of infantry, and my deck gunners likely wouldn't be able to do enough damage. We also lost 3 out of the 4 dogs, and without dogs we wouldn't be able to chase all those routing troops. Bretonia, ban greenskins, Dowie, and lizards. Do you get 3 bans now? We ban greenskins, Dowie, and lizard. Is he banning 3? I'm not sure what's going on. Let's question it. I believe it's only 2 bans, but unless he's just trolling me, he may very well be trolling. Let's see which one he wants to go up against. He definitely does not want to play Bretonia against dwarves. Brett, Van, Greenskins, Dwarves, and Liz. Lizardman? Okay. Zypho's trying to sneak in the 3 bans against me. Yep. Honest mistake, guys. No problem. Okay, so we're able to knock out Zyphos here. And I know I'm counting my eggs before they hatch. But, oh geez, we're going up against Guac. If he wins, the tournament winner of the last qualifier. What is this? Madness. Well, we'll have a game against Guac. And then after that, who else is in our half of the bracket? Ulrich Wall is pretty beastly. I would not feel super comfortable going up against Ulrich Wall. Looks like Zyphos is banning dwarves and lizardmen and going Bretonia. Now, what do we... It's Swarv, not Guac. Okay, just a name change. Alright, cool. Alrighty, so Bretonia, eh? Well, I do have a chart that I like to consult for my picks and bans. So let's just take a quick look at that. At my Warhammer picks and bans Excel sheet. And yes, I do have Excel sheets. And yeah, it is indeed greenskins. So let's go ahead and play Greenskins versus Zyphos's, not Lizardman, Bretonia. And let's see how well we do. Random Nick saying, Chosen One will probably be my next hard opponent. We'll see. Zyphos. Look, it's in the chart, man. I literally have an Excel sheet that I shared with the chat saying which faction I would pick. I'm not doing it just because he accidentally banned it. Now, Hero Blob is pretty nasty here. But will Zyphos actually go for a Bretonian Hero Blob? We can't be sure. Yeah, Bretonia feels pretty good against Greenskins. The only bonus I have here is that I do have a little bit of confidence up against Bretonia. This map has a lot of forests. So I'm not sure. We can't really camp the forests anymore due to the rule change. Nameless Order wants me to repost the Excel sheet. Sadly, it's just for me and my clan. Random Nick saying I should have gone for Chaos. 3 companions. Alright. Now we can take a Night Goblin War Boss. And I think the best way to deal with Zyphos is to take away his micro. And the best way to do that is to take Tormentor Sword and Fermented Fungi. We also want a River Troll Hag. And we want a Spirit Leech to be able to kill any green knights that he throws our way. I really doubt Assault of Stone will hit Zyphos, so we won't take it. Alternatively, we could take Azag here. Azag could be a lot better, but having this many nets feels like we could just sneak in a free win against them by just slowing down his cavalry a bit. I will take 1 Rock Lobber. That will, Rock Lobber will pressure his cavalry and can get a good number of kills. So, let's see, what else do we want? We're going to go, I believe he's going to have a good amount of peasant bowmen. So we're going to go very wide with our front line. And now we want something to actually punish his cavalry if they move in to engage. That probably being, we're going to take 1 Orc Boy Big Gun. You know what? Let's take 2. And after that, we choose between Savage Orcs or Black Orcs. You may have Fae, which would do pretty well against this. But let's just take 2. We don't really want a whole ton of archers because of all that forest. But we definitely want Spider Riders to rush into that back line. But do we want anything else? Do we want some skirmish cavalry, perhaps? More grubs. Mangy Marauders to keep his cavalry away? I think that's pretty good. We'll take 1 of those. And can we take anything else? We may very well want a few archers. I'll upgrade my spiders to Forest Goblin Spider Rider archers. They'll be able to kill peasants either way. And regardless if they have bows or if they're melee, they will They will do decently against Xiphos's... Well, they'll die to cavalry either way. So we'll just equip them with arrows so they can poison. But what else? What else could we want? I'm not sure how I want to fill out the rest of this build. Maybe a single archer boy? That might be good. I do get the feeling that Xiphos may go pretty heavy on the cavalry front. We could also try to squeeze out an 8-peak loonies for those fanatics. But goblins do take a pretty heavy beating from cavalry. We're going to take a quick look at Skarsnik. Maybe we want to switch to him. There he is, because he can add plus 16 bonus versus large. That almost doubles the goblins' melee attack, but they only do an okay amount of damage to large anyways. I'm thinking one archer for safety. And there we go. We have a pretty well-rounded build. We're going to double check very quickly on the rules, the banner rules, to make sure that we can indeed take Tormentor Sword. And Fungi. We're just going to double check to make sure that Fungi doesn't count as a net. So we'll Control F. Net. Scroll up to load the page. There we go. Snare maybe? Snare. Net. Your army may have more than one net, but no more than one between lords and heroes. Does it specify fungi? Anyone in the chat, feel free to let me know. Am I allowed to take Tormentor Sword and Fermented Fungi? Okay, people saying yep. In that case, I believe we're ready for our second match against Xiphos. We are up 1 game against him. So let's see if we can take the second game. I am feeling very alive after that first game. Oh geez, what a match. So we do have a lot of skirmishers here. We have a whole lot of infantry, and the hope is that we'll be able to use the Night Goblin War Boss to snare any cavalry that show up to try to jump on our rock lobbers. And then we charge in with the big guns, get 1,000,000 kills, and then we win the game. Nameless Order saying, I have 2 builds, Greenskins First Brett, Skarsnik plus Trolls, Azag, Queen Bess, or Queen plus Black Orcs, not Queen Bess. Too much Vampire Coast on my mind. Yeah, so this build I think is a little bit vulnerable to a hero blob. But if he does bring a hero blob, I think we can save our ammunition on our archers here. And then possibly just shoot Gotrek to death at the end of the game. With our army being so wide, we'll be able to jump on any archers he has. And with this Night Goblin War Boss, we can really shut down any cavalry that he throws our way. Although our cavalry corps is not especially strong, I'm sort of tempted to switch out these Black Orcs and the big guns for more cavalry. Actually, I'm really tempted. Okay, we don't want the breath. We can save some money there. You know what? Let's get a little bit more cavalry going. We'll also take some Night Goblins. Why not? Upgrade one of these Goblin units. These guys will do pretty well thanks to their poison. They actually have less leadership. I did not know. A little bit less armor, but I'm sure the poison helps a good amount. Okay. So, let's see. 8 peak loonies are a must. I think versus Zyphos is... Actually, sure. We'll take 1 unit of 8 peak loonies. We do have to make some small cuts elsewhere, though. Do we want wolf riders and then a unit of goblins? These wolf riders could actually do pretty well versus Bretonnian peasants. So there we go. I sort of like this build a little bit more. We have our guys to pressure the peasants, which will keep the knights further back. We have a whole ton of cavalry and a bunch of nets and snares, which will hopefully make it so that we get some picks on Zyphos' cavalry. We have the 8 peak loonies, who, if they manage to get the fanatics off against a huge cavalry blob, that would be huge. We have a river troll hag to deal with Green Knight and other single entity shenanigans. She has Fate of Buna to nuke down elite cavalry. We have 1 unit of Black Orcs. Black Orcs generally good against just about everything. So hopefully they will be able to carry us out here. Thank you, Chosen One, for helping out the chat. Yeah, Party Elite's YouTube video on debug camera is very good. Lets you zoom out really far. It's totally legal in all tournaments that I know about, at least. And it will give you a nice advantage. Bretonnia really not Bretonnia, Zyphos really working that build. And there we go, looks like he's ready, but we have a 0 spend. So let's see if we're able to win it today. We have the low ground area of the map. And a huge forest to cover our troops. Now, let's see what army size Zyphos has brought. We're a little bit weak to the hero blob, I will say. But I think Zyphos would be less prone to bring something like that. So just remember, if you're on the left side of the setup, in the setup phase, you will spawn on this side of the map with the forest. So if you want to spawn here on Langui, make sure you set up that lobby. We're going to lay a devious little trap here for Zyphos by putting our rock lobber real close to this forest here. And it looks like he has a pretty big army for himself. So we're just going to have a very innocent little rock lobber here. Absolutely, definitely not a trap. Definitely not a trap. Let's see. You could also have... You know, we'll put it way in the open, like so. And we'll have the Goblin War Boss right here in the forest. So we'll put him right here and we can position him this way if needed. This forest is going to be left empty. Man, he has a pretty big army. I wonder what he brought. There's a chance he brought a lot of trebuchets. But we do have this forest to shield our advance. Going to put our skirmishers on the flank here. Nice, huge empty space for them to do their skirmishing. Try to get Zyphos to send his knights over here, where our ambush will come out and hopefully win us the day. We'll put our archers not on one. Our black orcs will be on one there. Alright, and it's very important. You know what? The black orcs, we really don't want to forget them. So we're going to put them in the same hotkey group as our cavalry. Zyphos giving us the good luck Master City. I guess that's my nickname now. Alright. I believe that was, yep, after his ready. So here we go. Alright. We have Euromen archers, and we do have a hero blob. To the forest! It's a good thing we have these archers over here. And the hero squad is a paladin and the Fey Enchantress. Interesting. Alright, so we'll start moving these guys over then. And move these guys back. Fey Enchantress diving into my little goblins. Looks like he actually has quite a few air units. We want to back away from the Fey Enchantress, since she does have that Mortis engine effect. And we're going to start advancing since we don't see any of Zyphos' cavalry. And we're just going to try mulching up his infantry, while just stalling out his hero squad as long as we can. Alright, there we go. And let's advance. We do have some defenders. And he's routed off one unit of goblins. But that's no problem. Whoa. And we're going to Spirit Leech the Royal Hippogriff Knights. Okay, let's get in our fanatics. And our archers. Okay, and let's get the fighting started. We have a lot of infantry. We just need to back them up. Alright, those Hippogriff Knights have dived in. Let's slow them down. And let's give them the fungi. And there we go. We have some knights rushing in. Want to throw that out. And it actually looks like he managed to break the fungi on them. I'm not sure how those hippogriff... Oh, he healed up the hippogriff knight. And then the fungi went away. That's pretty cool. See, Knights Errant, Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm. So we do have our rock lobber. Putting in some heat. Going to keep spirit leeching those Pegasus Knights as our infantry moves in and does their work. So I'm not sure how I feel about this current situation. Let's see what we're able to do here. And we're going to Tormentor Sword here. Move in our Fanatics. and grind up those knights. Oh my gosh, those fanatics were insane. They were absolutely insane. Jeez, that's a huge route. All right, so there you go. There's the combo, guys. Fanatics. They're pretty good. Okay, nice. And now we have our unbreakable squad over there. All right, and our catapult can pressure those guys. All these guys go there. We really don't want our hero to die now. Nice. And then, like clockwork, our archers doing some great work there. Now we'll still have to be careful. That hero squad is quite the force to be reckoned with. We do have a bunch of orc cavalry, so hopefully they'll be able to help us out here. We're going to slow down those hippogriff knights so that we can catch them with the cavalry. Move in our infantry to screen. And we're going to freeze them right there. And disengage with that cavalry. Buff their leadership. And charge back in with them. Okay, and looks like we're having a huge rout from our cavalry forces here. Huge rout. Alright, let's send in some fanatics. Ooh, and a big hit on our hero. Come on. Oh, that was a huge hit on our hero. Enchantress doing some work. We want to hit those hippogriff knights. I see we have some black orcs coming back. And our hero is alive. He just needs to run. We're going to mither the hippogriff knights and spirit leech them. These guys need to charge in. Defend your lord. Oh, and it looks like some knights have come in to escort our hero out. Looks like that might be game. Oh, but our lord comes back. What a hero. Man, but those hippogriff knights, they are being a huge pain. Okay, we can keep scrapping it out though. We just have a little hero squad that we need to deal with. Our river troll hag getting chased down by some paladins here. Yep, we need to make sure that they stay safe. Oh, it looks like he's actually going for my lord here. Let's poison him. Okay, and looks like we were able to slow them down. And there we go. We froze them. Which leaves us the Lord, who we can kill. I think I wasted my fungi there. But I do really need to kill him. And there we go, we've routed him. Okay, and now my poor little goblin needs to run for his life. No, what are you doing, little goblin? Run! Oh, he takes a big hit from the Fey Enchantress. A second big hit from the Paladin. Oh, and the other Paladin comes back. Man, those Hippogriff Knights, they really carried. If we had gone that fungus on them and they hadn't healed, that would have been game for sure. But he healed them out of fungus. Oh my gosh, GG. And well played to Xiphos. Oh, we still have some fanatics alive. Alright, there we go. Oh man. Whew. Well, I felt like we were on the back foot for a lot of that game. Let's see. Yeah, but the hero squad. I knew I should have prepared for them more. I really wasn't prepared for those hippogriffs. We did throw down a whole ton of spirit leeches, but I can't believe they healed out of the fungus. Oh man. Because otherwise there wouldn't have been any terror to rout all my troops. We also had a huge play where we charged in with our cavalry and they just all died. I'm not sure what happened there. But okay. There we go. Xiphos now gets to pick 3 and I get to counterpick. Which is pretty favorable for me. He does get to ban 1 though. Didn't play well with the Cav. Yeah. They killed all of my Cav. All of my poor Cav. But okay, so surely Xiphos is going to pick a bunch of elves and then ban Bretonia. But let's see. MP Alpine Ridge. One of my least favorite maps. This whole set is just my 3 least favorite maps. MP Alpine Ridge. Map is set. Yep, ban. Pick 3, ban 1. I believe that's the tiebreaker. We'll double check. 3 factions that they have not played yet. And then bans a faction. Yep. So there we go. Let's see if we're able to beat Xiphos in this extremely long best of 3. We've played 2 games. It's been about an hour. But thank you very much, everyone that has tuned in to watch while Xiphos picks his he picks his 3 factions. I'd like to invite everyone here to join the Discord if you want notifications on when I stream. And also, if you would like discussions on how to beat different factions. Talking about the meta and how to beat different factions. Chosen one, you still have no one to play. Alright, cool, that's pretty surprising. Meanwhile, I'm here, duking it out with Xiphos. A very, very formidable player. Really, my best faction against him is Vampire Coast, but as you can see, we have a little bit of a rough time beating him afterwards. But man, that Greenskins game was close. It was very close. Dark Elves, High Elves, and Greenskins ban Bretonia. Course you do, Xiphos, course you do. So Bretonia, actually pretty strong faction for me. Do we want to go up against Xiphos' High Elves? Matt picking Greenskins, the mad lad. I believe this is a pretty good setup for us to play Norska though. Norska and ban his we might just go Norska and ban his his high elves. Xiphos isn't really known for playing a whole ton of greenskins. Although greenskins would have a better matchup versus Norska. So do I want to play a better matchup? Or do I want to try to meta this and ban Xiphos' stronger factions? I do feel pretty confident about my Norska versus High Elves though, so I am thinking that's what I'll be going. Is there any other faction that I might want to play though? We're definitely not playing Dwarves. He'll play Dark Elves and he'll likely run over me. We won't play Lizard Men. Not verse that. Yeah, I believe we will be going Norska and ban greenskins. This is a matchup that we've played many a time in practice. So let's see if it pays off here. Hello, Sep. We're in a tournament right now, trying to qualify for the Everchosen. We have a pretty strong pick. Norska against High Elves. It's been a little while since we practiced this, I think. Okay, Xiphos not super confident with this matchup. That's good for me. Now, Xiphos has a very high chance of going some sort of kitey build. So we want some Marauders to tank the front line for us. We want Wulfric, just because he is an absolute beast, will take tons of damage. And we're going to do him dirty and take double Mammoth to really just charge in and overrun any formation he has. These guys will also soak up a lot of ammo. Versus Kite, we want Beasts of Tashnar. Also, we're taking the Mammoth with the damage resistance, in case he decides to net it. Xiphos still figuring out which elf faction he wants to play. We would also, versus Xiphos, we won't go for a double Bale Fiend play. Single Fimir Bale Fiend should do, although he might snipe one. So maybe we will take a backup caster. Xiphos saying he would rather go Wood Elves here. Nice, nice. Thank you, Gidat Mule. You cannot take Soul Crusher with another Mammoth. That is good to know. All good. We don't need Mammoths. We can take Skin Wolves. So we all know Skin Wolves, a very strong unit because of their mobility. They do really well against kitey type builds. Let's double check the rules. I believe that we're allowed to take 4. That's correct. We can take 4 Skin Wolves. Xiphos taking Dark Elves. So we have a whole ton of Skin Wolves. I believe we don't need the Sorcerer of Fire. But we can expect a little bit of kiting from Xiphos. Always expect a little bit of kiting. So we'll take some Horsemen in case he takes those flying guys. This Fimir. I believe we do want missile resist on him. And we'll just be taking Pendulum. And Pendulum and Burning Head. Or do we want the Fireball? We do know his Ifos can dodge fireballs. If he takes Scourge Runners, though, I don't think we need a fireball here. As a plus, we don't have to deal with nets. But Scourge Runners are a little bit of a pain to deal with. He may also go some sort of elite infantry box. You know what? I'm really not feeling the lore of fire here. We'll take Pendulum and Enfeebling Foe. So we have our anti-skirmish group here. And we have a bunch of skin wolves. But what else do we want? Versus the nasty, nasty dark elves. He could bring... If he brings a lot of Scourge Runners, I'm pretty happy with the Beasts of Tashnar. But what else? Random Nick saying he likes Throg. Throg wouldn't be the worst. It depends on what else we would like to take. Do you want a Skinwolf Werekin to try to chase down his cavalry? I feel like he might just get sniped off. So maybe not. We actually don't have much to break an elite front line from Xiphos. Which is why I do sort of like Wulfric here. Honestly, I'm not hugely sure what I want to take. I think this is probably enough anti-skirmish. So let's take something for his more elite infantry. Yeah, Throg feels a little bit risky. I want enough to be able to beat an elite infantry box. And what can do that? Let's see. Like, chariots are really risky here. We won't be taking any of those. I'm sort of tempted to just go double mammoth. Limit to Regiment of Renown units. I feel like that was removed. Let's see here. It seems like there is no limit to Regiments of Renown. I don't think so. Just checked the rules. So far we have a load of skin wolves. If he's asking about Regiment of Renown units, I do think he may bring a pretty heavy air squad. If he does bring an air squad, we want... You know what? He could bring horsemen axes. With throwing axes, that feels a little bit better if he has an elite army. Is the range a little bit lower? Yes, they do have slightly less range. But that AP feels pretty good against stuff like Blackguard. We now have 100 more gold. Alright, let's just save this build real quick. And take a quick look at the Dark Elf roster. What Regiment of Renown units is he taking? He's gonna take Slaaneish's Harvesters, Ebon Claw, Ravagers of Rakarth. Like, there's not a lot of RORs. Oh, it's gonna be Blades of the Blood Queen, Sisters of Singing Doom, and Raven Heralds. I can see it now. Thank you for following Croissant Bart in these very stressful times, where we see if we are able to beat Zyphos. Yeah, Raven Heralds are... they are pretty nasty. Ooh. And Zakiverse. You too. Thank you very much. Alright, we'll head back to the Norska build that we were working. We have 3 cavalry and we have Norskan Warhounds. I think if Zyphos goes for a skirmish against us here, it's going to be game over for him. I think we might even be overtuned to deal with his skirmish because we have these skin wolves too. I really want something that will do a little bit better versus a box build. Feral Mammoth feels so risky though. Can bring a normal War Mammoth or a War Shrine. What's the difference? War Mammoth has some ammunition. War Shrine can give fire damage, leadership, and encourage. I feel like the War Shrine might be a tiny bit better. Although War Mammoth does have that missile attack for the skirmish. What do you guys think versus War Mammoth versus War Shrine? Let me know. War Shrine is nice. Let's see. Zablasky talking about Raven Heralds are one of the worst RORs in the game. Yeah, they can win it if Norska isn't ready. So we'll take a War Mammoth. And now we have no infantry. But with double Mammoth and Pendulum, we'll really be able to run over any infantry he has. Let's take some Marauders. We have our throwing axes. But we can go a little bit more heavy into throwing axes and get fewer skin wolves. This feels like we're overtuned to his skirmish play again. But double War Mammoth is quite the force to be reckoned with. We're going to double check that we can take this many skirmishers. I think we have basically our build now. If anyone has any critiques, let me know. I will gladly hear you guys out. Does the build look okay? Or does it look super sketch? War Mammoth missile attack can kill gyrocopters and bombers pretty fast, but not useful here. Yeah, I think we're good. We have a lot of horsemen throwing axes. But I think we're good. I think we're good. Frostworm would be pretty bad versus Dark Elves, sadly. As it has very little HP. I believe it would get picked off. So no Frostworm today. I'm just wondering if my front line is a little bit too thin. Alrighty. Only having one Fimir is also pretty sketchy too. Zyphos wondering if the matchup has changed. It's taking a long time to build, but that's okay. This is very stressful. We're both trying very hard to move on to round 2 of the tournament. This is a very difficult starting match. But I'm sure whoever manages to make it out has a pretty good chance of winning the tournament. Let's take a look at the bracket while we wait. Is Falcon still in it? Let's control F Falcon. Falcon is still in it. Eey. Not looking to playing up against him. All good. If Zyphos goes for a hardcore box build, I'd be a little bit... I wouldn't be that surprised. He does go a box build from time to time. But it's not like we have the worst build to go up against it. We have 2 wind spells, i.e. Sea Fang, and also Pendulum. We also have 2 War Mammoths, which is pretty hard for the Dark Elves to deal with. And a whole load of Marauder Horsemen throwing axes. The only thing that we're a little bit low on is our infantry. In fact, you know what? We have Beasts of Tashnar. We don't need so many horsemen. I think Beasts of Tashnar are already gonna do a pretty good job. There we go. We took a few more Marauders. That way we won't run out of Marauders by the time we make it to Zyphos here. Okay, so what are your predictions, guys? Do you think he'll be kiting, or do you think he'll be boxing up as the Dark Elves? Let's find out. Also, who do you think will be the victor here? Will it be I, second time trying out the tournament, or Zyphos, with it being his first attempt at qualifying for the Everchosen? Optimus Pine simply saying, I predict. That's good. An entertaining match and excellent commentary. Well, thank you very much. But I may go dead silent during this game because I really want to win. Okay, let's see how big his army is. It's sizable. That means he might be going just a normal Dark Elf build. Okay, we're going to put our horsemen up here and our warhounds on the hill so that they can spot any enemies. We're going to then take our skin wolves, put them on both flanks. You know what? Skin wolves, you guys can cover a single flank. Wolfric, you're here. War Mammoth, you're over there. And their jobs are to defend these marauders. Okay, I believe we're ready. We'll give Zyphos the good luck. Have fun. I'm not sure when he typed that. So we'll see if we're ready to go. Oh man. I can't believe this is how the tournament starts, but hey, at least one of us manages to get a nice break from the tournament early. Mole Spaghetti, thank you for the follow. We won't be calling out any follows during the game for that focus. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. Breathe. Breathe. We just need to trade 1 for 1 of his troops. His box can't be super elite. That means we probably don't have to worry about Blackguard. That's a good sign for double War Mammoth. Zyphos saying, let's go. Let's do this, people. Ah, I knew it. Raven Heralds. Zyphos, you madman. It's a good thing we brought this many horsemen throwing axes. And we have our dogs to ward away any dark riders. Alright. So our job here is just to reduce the amount of damage that we take from his skirmishing. Nice, we have our doggos rushing in. And those Raven Heralds. What are these guys? Cold One Knights? Okay. Just getting a little bit of back and forth skirmishing with Xiphos here. We actually took a pretty big hit there. But as long as we have them on the run, they won't be shooting back, which means our front line can actually march up and engage with him. We really want to be dodging those shots so we don't take too much damage. Okay, and there we go. Now he's on the side of the map, which means that... Oh, nice, nice. We actually caught some Dark Riders. Now, if his troops rout off, that's really good for us. And so the fighting begins. Okay, we have some elite infantry coming in. And his knights are engaged. They're disengaging now. That's a pretty bad pendulum on our part.
Quick! Bring us to Carnage! Drag us to the souls! Quickly now! By God's
Come on, throwing axes, go get them. Our skin wolves going in. We do not want Wolfric to rampage. Alright. Alrighty. Let's go in. We want those Dark Riders to move out of the way. Okay, nice. I think we got a pick on them. But we're about to lose Wolfric, which is pretty big. Our skin wolves need to disengage. That's a big soul stealer. And Wolfric is down. That's pretty big. Oh, we're not doing a great job killing these Dark Riders, people. This could very well be it, but let's keep scrapping it out. Oh, and we've lost the Marauders. Oof. And I believe that is game, everyone. I think we did a really bad job diving those repeater crossbows. We'll give him a GG well played then. Oh my gosh. And there you go, guys. Xiphos has won it. He's on his way to the top of the qualifiers of this Everchosen Qualifier. Oh my goodness. And there we go. Very solid build from Zyphos. We didn't do too well versus the Blackguard. I think really we only did okay during the skirmishing phase. But there we go. Those Dark Shards, Dark Riders, repeater crossbows. Very few kills, but they were the ones killing our mammoths, which is really too bad. We also didn't get to kill Marathi and the Master, which means that all of our Winds of Magic that we spent on them and abilities were for nothing. So GG. You did well, man. Get that qualification. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Prussian Prince. We're both out again early. Such a shame. Zyphos absolutely ecstatic. I'm happy for him too. I do believe that he will be able to push through. Do it. All right, nice. Well, there we go.